It sucks. I probably spend more time on the road than I do in my own house. And that's not even an exaggeration. It can take me up to 2.5 hours to get home from work. And today, I'm going to take you on that journey with me. It's currently 5 p.m. A little bit earlier than when I'd usually finish, but it doesn't really make much of a difference. I usually leave work around 5:30 p.m, but the nature of my work means I don't really have a stationary office, so I could be leaving from a number of different locations. Having said that, this week I was based in West London. Now the first thing that we need to do before setting off is checking the route. Checking the route is probably the most pivotal part of the journey. It will really determine what time I get home. Now I'll be given 3 different routes to choose from, but today it's only showing me one. And that's about 2 hours and 3 minutes. But regardless of which route I pick, my journey will almost always be split into 3 parts. Part 1, getting to central London. Part 2, getting through central London. And part 3, the final stretch home. We're currently here, and we're trying to get to here. Part 1 of the journey is all about speed. Trying to get through this part as quickly as possible so that when we get to part 2 and we're stuck in a lot of traffic jam, we can try and make up some of that time by reducing the amount of time we spent on part 1, if that makes sense. Driving in London can be very difficult. It's often described as one of the most difficult places to drive in Europe. And I tend to agree. But having said that, if you've got your wits about you, if you use a bit of common sense, some initiative, that'll take you a very long way. So part 2. We are now driving through central London. We've got to central London, now we're driving through central London. This is where it gets a little bit more complicated because there are a number of barriers, a number of different problems and issues, like this one going past me now, and this one, come on, that makes it a little bit more complicated, okay? Traffic jams, cyclists, cycle lanes, taxis, buses, pedestrians, you name it, everything. There's nothing worse than being stuck in one place. Usually, I might find another route. But when you're stuck on a road that has no other route, you're pretty much playing the waiting game. There are a few things that exacerbates these traffic jams, and the worst one being cycle lanes. Our furry little friends who have been given an inch and have taken a mile do contribute to the majority of the traffic build-up in central London. These guys over here take up more space than they actually need. Why don't they put those bloody cycle lanes in smaller side streets rather than the main roads which are being used by cars? It just complicates everything. That guy just reversed out onto a main road. A busy main road. And 9 times out of 10, they're Uber drivers. As I'm sure that one was. So, that's another problem. Uber drivers, taxi drivers, who also think they own the road. So, when an accident does occur, like it inevitably does, who's to blame? They are. But they'll often make it look like you're to blame. But the one thing that really pissed me off is the 20 miles per hour roads. For reasons I'm still trying to figure out, the Mayor of London decided to limit the speed on some of the busiest roads in central London from 30 miles an hour to 20 miles an hour. This new rule is supposed to save lives. And I'm all for saving lives, but do you think anyone in their right mind is driving 20 miles an hour? No. Yet again, Another stupid rule. That could have ended horribly wrong. Luckily for me, I'm a pretty good driver. Unluckily for him, he's not. So what that Uber driver did, is something that I have to encounter on a daily basis. And I'm just glad it happened so that you could see how imbecilic these drivers are. Now, petrol is another painful contributing factor on my commute to and from work, because it really does bite into your wallet. But worst of all, if you don't fill up your tank in the midst of a fuel crisis, here's what might happen. We're 20 minutes away from the petrol pump, and it says here we got 10 miles, but that's more 2 miles in car language. And the petrol pump is 1.9 miles away. We're stuck in heavy traffic. This is very, very nerve-wracking. I don't know if we're gonna make it. Just a bit of an update. Apparently there is a shortage of petrol supply, and ministers are gonna be meeting over how to resolve this issue. My local Tesco petrol pump that I always go to fill up was closed today, and we're currently on our way to another one, which is about 10 minutes away now. We're still on 10 miles. The line still continues to drop, but now we're thinking, what are we gonna do if this petrol pump is shut? If this petrol pump is shut, we're screwed. There's not another petrol pump for, like, petrol pump is right there. It looks like we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. We are gonna make it. There you go. Panic over. Whew. That was a close one. I think I'll just pull up in here. Yep, there you go. It's not working. It's not working. Oh my God. I'm panicking right now. The guy's telling me that it's not working. This is a disaster. Apparently there's no fuel left. Apparently there's no fuel left here. Oh my God. I'm gonna try super unleaded. I'm gonna see if that works. If not, we're gonna panic. Can't believe this is happening right now. This lady's literally hung me out to dry. Let's go. Come on, give me some petrol, please. Something, anything, please. I don't really know what to do right now. Results. Yes! I'm filling up the tank. I'm filling up the tank. Oh my God. My heart was in my mouth. Woo! Wow. I can get home. I can finally get home. The reason why I've called it the final stretch home is because the road I drive through is a never-ending stretch of road called the A13 and later the A12. The trouble with this road, some parts of it really good, really easy. Other parts of it, you'll be stuck there for about 20 minutes, like I'm about to be now. This is often the most difficult part of the journey, because although it's the final part and we're so close to home, we can be stuck in traffic for some time. So, we started the journey at 5 p.m. It's now 7:30 p.m, which means that it's taken me 2.5 hours to get home. I have to do that journey 5 days a week. And as I was making this video, I decided to keep track of my commute home for a whole week. As you can see, 1.5 hours to 2 hours is roughly how long it takes me to get home. Too long, if you ask me.